Okay. Hi, guys. Hello, hello. I was just joking that some of you already have seen me a lot today online. And I know that I just did the Cash for Christmas training about team building and earning your car, which I know those of you that are on, you have that desire, right? Right? That you're going to be one of those people that we're blowing up the Facebook page because you went on tar for your car this month and got some really cool purses and stuff as well. That of course only if you're in my unit and you get that. So I didn't say that of course on the recording, but earlier. But I hope that helped you. So tonight we're going to talk about just a little bit of other stuff. But then and then earlier today, I went live talking about the things to focus on between now and the end of the month. And you guys are the leaders. And so I really would encourage you to focus on how can you win in those areas. Okay, so of course, I talked about minimally. I want you guys at Inner Circle. We have a super fun event plan that those of you that are local are going to want to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun, but just the community of leaders is powerful because we have a lot of fun and it's fun to do fun activities and stuff together. So definitely want you stretching for that. And then of course there's the share-a-thon, which so you guys know that there's several things that you can be focused on, right? You've watched me a lot today. So what I'm going to talk about tonight is, first of all, I'm warning you, I'm going to kind of be all over the place, and I am going to share with you kind of some of the things that I've learned this last week. And so it's going to kind of be a deep call or training or whatever we call these things, Zoom meetings. But here's the deal. Is I want to hear from you. I want to have an actual conversation with you if you're serious about being in San Diego with us, because this is a group for people who want to be at leadership. It's called our All In Leadership Group because we want you coming and joining us at leadership in San Diego. Now, of course, you can come as a DIQ, right? And some of you, you're not ready to push, and so you're thinking, okay, well, maybe in November or December I'll push to get into DIQ. That's okay, but you guys know that you could be there as a new director. Do you realize that? That if you push to be into DIQ October 1st or November 1st at the latest, because that'll give you 2 months, you could literally be a new director by leadership. And so it's so much more fun. I want you coming as a new director to leadership, okay? But basically, I want to hear from you in the next 24 hours, have a conversation over the phone, either tonight or tomorrow, about what's holding you back from really going all in. Because this is called our leadership group and our All In Leadership Group. And what I'm sensing in just conversation or lack of conversation and really lack of activity, to be 100% honest, is that there's got to be some fear holding you back. That I want you to ask yourself, what is really holding you back from throwing yourself all in? Because if I look at the activity, most of you, like, not to make anyone feel bad, that's not what this is about. I'm just having an honest conversation with you that if you want to become a director, you've got to do more activity and got to up your activity. Now, some of you are killing it with activity, so this is not for everybody. If you're killing it, you had your best week ever and you rocked it in sales and team members and you're killing it, awesome. I'm not talking to you. But there's several of you who week after week, your activities like not moving up and not progressing, that this is a group of people that are wanting to progress and wanting to do more and stretch themselves. And so if you're not feeling yourself that you're really stretching and doing more and doing the activity that you know you can do, then we need to have a conversation, okay? And I want to talk about the fears that are really holding you back from really throwing yourself 100% hard over the line. So that's the first question I want you to ask yourself. There's going to be 3 things that I want to hear from you about, okay? And so I'll talk about them really tonight. I'm going to talk about all 3 of them, but I want to have a conversation with you about these 3 things. And the first biggest thing is, what is holding you back from really throwing your heart over the line? Okay, for example, the share-a-thon. There's about 4 people who are killing it with the share-a-thon, and 2 of them are not in this group. There's really only 2 people that are killing it right now with the share-a-thon, and so I'd encourage you to ask yourself, why aren't you sharing? Are you giving into the excuse that you've asked everybody? Because I promise you have not asked everybody. I promise that there are people out there that that I would encourage you to get into your chicken list. Your chicken list. We all have chicken lists. I know y'all have chicken lists of people that you know that you could be asking, but that you're not asking. And so the biggest question I want you to ask is, what is holding you from throwing your heart fully over the line? Okay. The second thing that I want, well, I'm going to go a little bit more into that. There's a couple more things I want to talk about that. Okay, now I'm going to say it right now. And that is that whatever excuse you may be giving yourself, for example, I just gave the one of like, oh, I've asked everybody I possibly can. Some of you, the excuse may be, oh, I don't have enough time. Or, whatever the excuse may be, I want to remind you that an excuse is a lie that nobody believes but you. And I love you guys, but this is a group of people that you can handle the tough conversations, right? That an excuse is a lie that nobody believes but you. So what excuse have you been telling yourself? What lie have you been believing? That's the big question I want. That's the big question I want you to ask yourself is, what excuse or what lie have you been believing? And what fears have been holding you back? Because that is what's paralyzing you right now, you guys, from really throwing your heart over the line, because you've heard me talk in Voxer messages and in, Facebook live stuff about getting all worked up. And so I'm gonna take my sweater off, getting all worked up about how to really throw your heart over the line and the power of finishing. And it is a muscle that you need to stretch yourself. And the only reason you're probably not throwing your heart over the line is because there's some excuse, some lie, some fear that is holding you back. Okay. So that is and I want you to really have some conversation with yourself about, what is holding me back? What am I afraid of? Am I afraid of failing? Am I afraid of succeeding? Am I afraid of, maybe I don't think I'd be very good at this? Maybe I don't think I have what it takes to lead. Do I feel inadequate? Do I feel just like, what fears are holding you back? Because I can guarantee whatever it may be, we got to talk through that. And I guarantee you're not the only one that's ever felt that way, that I felt that way, and countless other women have felt that way. And sometimes you just got to get out there. So I want to have an honest conversation in the next 24 hours with those of you that are really serious about being at San Diego with us. Not over texting, conversation over the phone. Tomorrow I'm pretty much available all day, that I want to have conversations with you guys, because you're important to me about what's holding you back, because we got to get through this now. We got to get through this now, you guys. I did training on the 2 biggest things that hold people back: time management and lack of confidence. And if you didn't work on those, why not? We need to have a conversation of, why aren't you really throwing your heart over the line? What is holding you back? Because I guarantee it's some little tweak, and we got to have a conversation about it. So that's the first thing. Okay. And the other thing is, the second thing is that the conversation that I want, or in our conversation, the question that I want to have you answer is, what are you going to push for by October 1st? What are you going to push for? All right. This was a group of people who said they want to be in San Diego by DIQ. And then on the very first call, I said, commit to either September 1st or October 1st DIQ. And like almost everybody picked October 1st DIQ. And so you said that a month ago. What has changed? Has your activity, what has your activity not been there? Have you let fear set in? Are you just going to push back the date to November 1st? No, I want you pushing for something. Okay, if you're not ready to push for DIQ October 1st, I want you to push for minimally, if you're not in your red jacket, minimally red jacket October 1st. And if you're already in your red jacket, or that doesn't seem like too much of a stretch for on target for your car. That's only 5 people, you guys. 5 people on target car, team leader. But there's several of you who are senior consultants right now that I know within my gut that if you threw your heart over the line, you could be in DIQ October 1st like that. It literally is a decision. Today I got to listen to some speeches from a $1 Million Girlfriends, and all the $1 Million Directors this year, it was million for their first time, or all of them except for me and a couple other people. And every single one of them said it was a decision. It was a decision at the beginning of the year that they decided they were going to do million, and that's really it. They were top directors before they knew how to produce a top unit, that it was just a little tweak to go from 650 to million. And it is the same thing at every level, you guys, and it literally is a decision. And it's a matter of switching your brain off and on, and not letting fear, switch your brain off. That's why we need to have a conversation, because I'm feeling just in the lack of conversation and the lack of activity that there's got some major blockage going on up here that's holding you guys from holding you back from really throwing your heart over the line and being and living full out and being fully alive and living to your best potential and being who God's created you to be. As cheesy as that sounds, it's true that I believe there's something holding you back. And so I want you to push for something. So first question is what is truly holding you back? And most of us, we're going to have the conversation tomorrow. And so I want you to encourage you to journal, really journal about and pray about what is holding you back, and God will reveal it to you. Second thing is, what are you going to push for by October 1st? Okay. I want to know, and don't just do me a lip service. What are you really, really ready to commit for and get a win so that you can join us? Because we got to stretch this muscle of pushing, right? And stretching, like I've said before. Okay. And the other thing is, okay, so our goal is, as a unit in an area, is to have 5 new DIQs October 1st. And one of the big reasons why is because Susan Johnson from corporate is coming out here next month. Next month, she is coming, and I want to show her that we're for real. Because a lot of you are new and you don't know what this means, but once years ago, I had a corporate person come out, but it wasn't to build a national area. It was for testing for something else. Anyways, I've never had a corporate person come out and really believe in us that much that they see us pulling together our national area. I literally told her, like right before I launched this group, about how I see us as a national area, and I'm scared and I'm nervous, and I don't know, like, just I was sharing with her some of my concerns and all that stuff, and I want to show her that we're serious about becoming a national area, and that she's not just flying out here because, just because, but that she is actually, that we're serious about becoming a national area, and she's willing to invest her time with us. That I want to make it legit by showing up and having lots of DIQs. I would love to have a room full of DIQs. That to do that, you have to get into DIQ October 1st. So that there's going to be special training with her there. Oh, and I forgot one other exciting thing. So you're going to get special time with Susan when she's here next month. But the other thing is that I really want you guys pushing to join us at Leadership, because it's the event of the year as a director. And I decided to throw something out that, okay, so there's going to be several of us there. There's probably going to be, my goal is for us to have 10 or 15 people there. And so only a few people get to actually stay with me. So those of you that become new directors by January 1st, which I'm excited about that. So that's a fun little perk to push and to finish the IQ. And I would challenge you that if you want to be there as a director, to really stretch and to be in DIQ October 1st. It'll give you 3 full months to be able to finish DIQ. So I want to stay with you. All right. Okay. So those are the first 2 things. Then the last thing I'm going to go over at the end, because I'm staying until the end, I'm going to share with you guys just really quickly a couple of things that I learned that I was reminded of this last week, that I hope encourage you, that they encouraged me, that I want them to encourage you, because I hope you hear my heart that I prayed about before I came on, that I want you to hear my heart that I love and care about you guys so much, and I believe in you so much. Like, looking at your little faces, I just wish I could say, oh my gosh, you are incredible, and you are enough, and you have what it takes, and you are an incredible leader, and you have everything you need right now to be who God's called you to be. That if you believe that you have a calling and you want to be a sales director and you want to lead women and you want to empower other women, you have everything you need right now. That stop doubting yourselves. That I love and care about you guys so much that I want you doing more. I want you stretching yourself. I want you increasing the level of activity because I care about you and because I know you're better than that. I know you're better than that. I know you have more in you, and that if you dig deep, you could kill it this month, and you could be in DIQ, and you can go and drive your car. It's not even about that. It's about the women. It's about you building your confidence and becoming the most powerful version of yourself. And whatever happened in the past, you got to let that go, because that is the biggest thing that holds people back from really throwing their hearts over the line, is that you can't let past fears and disappointments hold you back. You got to fully throw your heart over the line. Okay, so some words of encouragement to you today, my friends, is this. First of all, are you lazy? Are you crazy? Are you stuck? They're three different things that if you're not where you want to be, you're usually lazy, you're crazy, you're stuck. So ask yourself that question. And this was a deep one that really hit me, is when you continue at the same level, you are coasting. So if you literally have been operating at this level over and over and over and over, you're coasting and you're not stretching and you're not really living, becoming fully alive. You know, I have this sign on my bathroom that says, God's glory is when we are fully alive. That means when we're fully alive. And for me, I am fully alive when I am going for something and I'm running full out and I'm stretching, I'm scared and I'm nervous and I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm fully dependent on him, daily on my knees, and I'm fully alive, you know. But when I'm coasting and I'm just existing, I get frustrated, I get discouraged because I know I can do more. Another thing that goes along with that is, it said, I heard this quote this last week, we only get frustrated when we aren't working at the level we need to work at or the level we know we can work at. I want you to write that down, people, because frustration, I heard this from Stephen Furtick, which if you don't know is, you need to follow him. He is amazing and powerful, and he has this series right now going on that is just phenomenal. But anyways, he talked about frustration in leadership, and as leaders that we're frustrated when we know that we can do more, when we know that we're just settling, when we know that we're just coasting, when we know that we are not living to our full potential. He said that's when we get frustrated. And he said as leaders, you end up being frustrated a lot more than most, because you know that you are made for more and that God has given you so many more gifts and talents. And if he has given you gifts and talents, he wants you to use them. And when you're not using them and really operating full out, you get frustrated. So if you're frustrated, it's usually because you were destined for more and you were destined for greatness, and there is more inside you, my friends. And then when you continue at the same level, you're coasting, and then going along with that, if you feel like you're coasting, you feel like you're frustrated, you got to literally draw a line in the sand. Draw a line in the sand and say, not doing this is not an option. Not doing this is not an option. And when you truly draw that line in the sand where there is no plan B, there is nothing that will hold you back, and you have made your mind up that not doing it is not an option, there's nothing nothing gonna hold you back. And guess what, girls? You will figure it out when your heart is thrown over the line. And I've seen some of you get to that place where there's like a dog on the bone mentality that, oh no, there is no way this is not happening. And when you get to that place, nothing will stop you. And it never looks the way you want it to. So you got to let that go, because it will never look the way that you want it to be, but it's exactly the way it's meant to be. Okay. When I remember this quote all the time. When things look like they're falling apart, they're really falling together. And there's usually a lesson that God wants us to learn in the process. The other thing that I that I heard this last week was, you know, if God has big plans for you, you better believe there's going to be some big obstacles. There's going to be some big obstacles if God has big plans for you and wants to do some big things with you. So when those obstacles come, instead of saying, oh, maybe I should do this, I don't know, that's, you say, this is confirmation I'm exactly where I need to be, because the devil doesn't want me to be there. And so he's throwing everything he possibly can. And he knows what is your hot button. And he knows what'll get under your skin. And for most of it's our family. It's those closest to us. It's things that he knows will paralyze us and cause us to question, you know, where our strength comes from and where our joy comes from and where our power comes from. And so just know that that there's going to be some big obstacles if God's got big plans for you. So take it as a compliment, my friends, and don't let that stop you though and paralyze you, because there will be obstacles and there will be things that will derail you and distract you. And that's normal to be distracted for a minute. But like I said, and I've said over and over and over again, that the key to moving up and quickly is how quickly you're going to move on from things. And, you know, if it's a major life thing, oh, you can't just get over it like that. But there's a difference in compartmentalizing, because if you work another job, you still have to show up. You still have to show up, right? And so you compartmentalize in the same way in your business, right? And so, anyways, but if we're talking about like a disappointment or a discouragement, that's what I'm talking about, getting over quickly. Because just like I said earlier in my Cash for Christmas thing, is who have you given your power away to? If you are stuck or if you're frustrated, who have you given your power away to? Have you given it away to maybe team members who chose not to pursue this, or go and do other things, or go to consult in heaven? I know a lot of people have done that, and I've done that myself. You know, that I've given in over the years. I realized, and you know, for almost 2 years in my business, I was paralyzed by this person. And I didn't even realize it, that this person, I had so much hurt and pain associated with somebody in my business that it caused me to stop building leaders. It caused me to stop pouring into people because of all the pain that I'd experienced with that one person. But how dare I let that person who was not a healthy person and had made bad choices in her life that had nothing to do with me and Mary Kay stop me and rob me from people who are right in front of me who were wanting to move up. And so you guys, sometimes just realizing that you've given your power away to something is powerful. You know, and then when I went through my divorce for years, I gave my power away to my ex-husband and what he told about me and the lies that he planted and the mean, horrible things that he said to me over and over and over again for 10 years, that I realized I'd given my power away to him. That once I realized that, it was so freeing. And so who have you given your power away to, my friends? Take it back. Take your power back. You're better than that. Don't let them steal your joy and your potential, okay? God will make up for lost time. Oh, that is so great. Maybe you're not where you want to be right now, but guess what? God is a God of lost time, and he will make up lost time, my friends. Draw a line in the sand, like I said, and then you'll figure it out. And you've got to become sick and tired of being sick and tired. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Because when you get to that place, that's when change will truly happen. Ooh, this is another great question to ask yourself is, how have I gotten comfortable? How have I gotten comfortable in my life? Because the areas that I've gotten comfortable in, and this is the questions I had to ask myself, is there are certain areas that I gotten really comfortable in and gotten lazy and found that it wasn't stretching and growing. And Mary Kay Ash always said, if you're not growing, you're rotting. You're not growing, you're rotting. So if you're not stretching yourself, guess what, my friends? You're rotting. And so where have you gotten comfortable? These are questions I want you to ask yourself because, you know, if you want to grow as a leader, you got to work on here more than you work on anything else. Because the other thing I heard this last week is success, just success in general, is 90% attitude and 10% skill. 10% skill. And if you've been in for any amount of time, you can learn how to book and sell and book and recruit. Skill, nothing. Your attitude is 90% of why you are where you are right now, not your skill. And it's easy to focus on the skill. Maybe I need a new booking script, or maybe I need to do this better, or maybe I need to learn to tweak this better. No, guess what? You need to change your thinking. This stinking thinking has got you where you are right now is because of the thoughts you had yesterday. And if you want to be in a different place, you've got to change your thoughts to be in a different place, right? So work on your attitude. And you can change anything in 90 days, but you can't change anything if you're not willing to be to acknowledge it, and if you're not willing to be accountable. That is why I want to hear from you, because if you truly want to change, you've got to be accountable. The other thing I heard this last week, which this is something that I'm just being 100% real and honest with y'all, I have struggled with over and over and over again, but it's comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. If you're comparing yourself to other people and you see me post, oh, Susie Q just had a great week, or Susie Q moved up, and oh, this person did this, and the first thing that comes to your brain is, that's nice for her, I suck. That will kill your joy. That will kill your joy, and you want to truly be happy for them and not say, woe is me, why am I not there? And I struggled with this. I'm being 100% honest with and real with you, even as $1 million director. I struggled with comparison, just like I said in my speech at seminar last year. And that paralyzed me. It paralyzed me, my friends. And so if you are comparing yourself, you got to stop it. You got to stop it. You got to know that you're exactly where you need to be right now. And you have lessons that God needs to teach you right now. And what are the lessons that you need to learn right now so that you can, be wherever it is that you want to be in this business. But I know you guys all want to be directors. And so you cannot compare yourself. And so the last little thing I'm going to go over, because I am going to keep it to 30 minutes this time, because you guys have heard me talk a lot today. And that is, do you have a goal or do you have a mission? Do you have a goal or do you have a mission? And I want you guys to not just have a goal. I want you to have a mission and a bigger purpose of what are you doing here with your Mary Kay business? What are you doing here? Why are you doing this? Because goals come and go. Next 5 days are going to come and go. And you're either going to make your goal or miss your goal. Which we're all going to make our goal, right? But the bigger picture is October 1st. What is your mission? What is your vision? What are you doing with your Mary Kay business? Why are you doing this? Do you know your why? And so we're going to talk for a couple minutes about why you're doing Mary Kay. And because that has to drive you, my friends. And for a long time, I didn't really feel like I had a why. And so then it paralyzed me because I didn't have a why. And then I felt like I was supposed to have this big why, and I didn't have kids. And most people's whys are around their kids or their whatevers. And, you know, I had to find out my why. And there's no dumb why. I had to come to grips with that. I thought my why was stupid. Like, it was just for me to build my confidence and for me to be my best and be who God created me to be. And that's not stupid. That's awesome. That is awesome, because when I truly became who God created me to be, and I'm still working on, believe me, I'm not arrived. Nobody's arrived. But when I loved myself and I built my confidence up to a place that I could help other people, because I'd been there, and that empowered me, my friends. And that is my why now, is to help other women build their confidence, help women like you realize how incredible you are and the gift that you are, and that God has given you gifts and talents, and He has made you beautifully, and what you are wonderfully and beautifully made exactly the way that you are. And you don't need to be like anybody else. You just need to be you and embrace the gifts and talents that God has given you. That is what I am most passionate about right now, is helping women build their confidence and be who God's created them to be. And I do that through the vehicle of Mary Kay. You know, of course I want to be a national sales director. Of course I want to have 20 new directors, but that's only going to come when I help women build their confidence and be the best versions of themselves at whatever level. Even if they're not sales directors, to be the most confident, powerful version of themselves. That's what I want for women. That's what I want for women, and that's what I want for myself. That takes me being the best version of myself and continually working on me, and that is how I can help other women be the best versions of themselves. Okay, so anyways, there's somebody unmuted. I'm trying to find who it is, but maybe you want to mute it again. Sorry, I can hear you for 2 seconds. All right, looks like we're all muted again. Okay. So I want you to find your why. And I'm going to send out this little sheet, and it's just a little worksheet that I'd encourage you to take the time. Maybe you already know your why. Maybe you already know your why. Maybe you already know what drives you. For most of you, like I said, it's usually around your kids, but maybe it's just for you. Maybe it's just to build your confidence and be the best version of yourself. Maybe it's for extra money. But here's the thing that I want you to write this down, because it doesn't say this on here, but I really want you to take the time to journal. This is why I want to talk to most of you tomorrow. I want to talk to all of you tomorrow, because I want you to take the time to really get to know yourself and ask yourself these questions. And here's the deal, is I will know who is serious about moving up by who takes the time to actually ask themselves these questions. When you get off, that you don't just go watch TV and zone out, that you actually take the time to work on you and really figure out what is holding you back and what is my why and why am I here? And you ask yourself these questions. So here's the little exercise. It's super simple. You ask yourself, why do I want to be a director? Maybe I want to make more money. Okay, let's say that's it. But then you ask yourself, why is that important to me? So whatever your answer is, why is that important to me? I want to make more money. Why is that important to me to make more money? Because I want to provide more for my kids. Why is that important for me? Because I didn't have that as a kid growing up. Why is that important for your kids to have that? Because you get to something, and when it becomes emotional, and you keep asking yourself, why is that important to me? Why is that important to me? You will get down to what is really driving you, and it should really drive you to tears. That you are so passionate about that, and so I want to know why you're doing this. And what is your mission? What do you want to do for women? What do you want to do for your family? What is the bigger picture here besides just a goal? Why are you doing this? Because you've got to keep that in front of you. And so the thing's really simple. It's just ask you a couple questions. So make a list of other women's whys in Mary Kay. And so you guys have been around Mary Kay enough to know, even if you've been in for a month, you've heard different people share different whys. So make a list of other people's whys. But you got to find your why. Because I felt for a long time that I didn't have a great why, and I copied other people's whys, and I would say it, superficial. But when I really was passionate about why I was here, it helped me during those times that I got the no's. It helped me during those times that I missed goals. Because I promise you guys, I have missed way more goals than I have ever made in my business. But when I miss goals, when I get disappointments, when people cancel on me, when people quit, when people, whatever, I have a bigger purpose, and I have to be reminded of my why. And that gets me back on track, and that gets me going and back in my zone and to where I'm able to work and run full out. Okay. And so to ask you a couple questions, why did you say yes to Mary Kay? Since you've said yes, how has your why expanded or changed? What about your Mary Kay business makes you get emotional or stirred up? And what do you feel passionate about in Mary Kay? Those are just some questions to help you develop your why. But I want you to know why. I want to know why you're doing this, and I want you to know. I want to know what your mission is, and what the bigger picture is here that you want to do with your business. Okay. So those are 3 things that I want to hear from you. I'm going to end with some encouragement, but I hope that you hear love and belief and excitement for you guys like never before. But I care about you, and I don't want you to let fear hold you back. I want you to get deep and take the time to get deep and take the time to really figure out what's going on. Because here's the deal is, like I said, most of you aren't doing enough activity. And when you're not doing the activity, there's something else going on. There's something else going on. And it's not just time, because like I said before, success is, what did I say? Or did I say this? Maybe I didn't say this, but this is a big one. Success does not take more time. It takes better focus. So those of you that are super busy, don't give me the excuse you don't have enough time. Success doesn't take more time. It just takes better focus. The busiest people do best in Mary Kay, and it's because they are focused. We already did training on time management. And if you didn't master it, which that would have been pretty awesome to master confidence and time management in a week. But do you have a plan to work on that? But it's not a matter of time management. It's a matter of focus. Okay. All right, so those are 3 things I want to hear from you in the next 24 hours. I want to have a conversation, if you're serious about becoming a director, to talk about those 3 things. What are you going to make happen October 1st? What is going to happen? What is your line in the sand? There is no way that this is not happening. I'm throwing my heart over the line. I'm going for something big. I'm stretching, and can't be a chicken goal. Can't be a chicken goal. It needs to be something that stretches you, and you get kind of like a that's the feeling I want you to feel, because I want you stretching. I want you growing and developing this muscle. Second question is, what is really holding you back from throwing your heart 100% over the line and really going all in? Because you could literally have a $10,000, $20,000 month between now and the end of the month if you really throw your heart over the line and don't let fear hold you back, and don't give you the excuses. Remember, excuses are lies. Well, no one believes what you. And then the third question that I want to hear from you is, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? What's your mission? What is the bigger picture here of why you're doing this? Because I want to keep that in front of you, and I want to help you hold you accountable to why you're doing this. And don't just throw out a thing of more money. That doesn't count. We're not taking that answer. More money. Ask yourself, why do you want more money? Then why do you want that? Then why do you want that? Until you get to something that is really deep. Okay? Here's your encouragement from one of my favorite books. Becky knows this book. Gosh, about a year ago now, in March, I went on a silent retreat, and this book, so when I got back in March, and some of you weren't even around then, so I read this book. I literally couldn't put it down. It talks about chasing the lion and going for something, and, really stretching and being who God's created you to be. And I mean, it's a great book, but I'm going to read to you the Lion Chaser's Manifesto, because if you're really ready to throw your heart over the line, you're ready to chase the lion, my friends. So quit living as if the purpose of life is to arrive safely at death. Quit living as if the purpose of life is to arrive safely at death. Run to the roar. Set God-sized goals. Pursue God-given passions. Go after a dream that is destined to fail without divine intervention. Read that again, because this is what this book is all about. Go after a dream or a goal that is destined to fail without divine intervention. He talks about so many people are afraid of failing, but that's how God shows up, is when the goal is so big that there's literally no way you can do it on your own. You can only give the glory to him. Stop pointing out problems. Become part of the solution. Stop repeating the past. Start creating the future. Face your fears. Fight for your dreams. Grab opportunity by the mane and don't let go. Live like today is the first day and the last day of your life. Burn sinful bridges. Blaze new trails. Live for the applause of nail-scarred hands. Don't let what's wrong with you keep you from worshiping what's right with you. Well, right with God. Sorry. Worshiping what's right with God. Dare to fail. Dare to be different. Quit holding back. Quit holding out. Quit holding back. Quit running away. Chase the lion, my friends. So that's your encouragement today. Chase the lion. And I want to hear from you, because I don't want don't let fear or anything else hold you back. So message me, and I want to set up a time in the next 24 hours we can have a live conversation, not a Voxer, a live conversation, because I really want to talk about these things, and I care about you, and you're important to me, and I want to see you living full out and running full out and not letting anything hold you back. All right? All right. Have a great night. Take the time to journal and figure out these things, okay? All right.